Chosen one, stop everything you are doing right now and listen to me with total attention for the next few minutes. This is no coincidence. You didn't scroll down to this video by chance. You were pulled, you were guided, and while you still hesitate to pay attention, a spiritual snare is being set in your path for the coming days, and your invisible enemies are working in silence to block what God has already decreed over your life. I need you to understand one thing before anything else. Your greatest blessing is literally knocking at the door, not a year from now, not 5 years from now. It is knocking now, this week, this month, and what you do in the next few hours will decide if it finds you prepared or if it passes you by, just as it has passed so many people who lost their moment out of fear, doubt, or because they kept scrolling. Chosen one, you felt it, didn't you? That strange sensation that has been coming for weeks, that tightness in your chest that no one understands, that inner restlessness, that strange sleep, that urge to cry for no reason, that urgency to change, to disappear, to start over. You thought it was anxiety. It was spiritual vertigo. It was your soul knowing the turning point was near, and your body trying to get used to a frequency it has never felt before. While the world outside sleeps, you wake up in the middle of the night. While others follow on autopilot, you feel like you're running late. While everyone else settles for little, you can no longer pretend that a small life fits you. This isn't madness. This is a calling. This is the mark of the chosen one being activated, and it hurts precisely because it is about to be fulfilled. And look at what no one has had the courage to tell you. Your spiritual enemies are watching you right now. Those people who always doubted, those who faked friendship while secretly praying for your failure, those who took advantage of your kindness, they feel something changing in the air. And they are in a panic, because when the chosen one rises, all of hell has to reorganize its troops, and hell is already doing that in your life right now. But I came here to bring a divine warning. In the next few minutes, you will receive a full revelation about the exact moment you are living through, about the trap being prepared, and about the massive blessing that God has already signed with your name. If you pay attention until the end, you won't just understand what is happening to you. You will receive the key to disarming the final test before the transfer of wealth that is coming to your home. Chosen one, listen to what I'm about to tell you with every pore open. Everything you went through was not punishment. It was not a curse. It was not divine rejection. It was training. It was selection. It was God separating you from the crowd because you were not made to be just another face in the crowd. Have you ever wondered why your life always seemed harder? Why others seem to get everything easily, while you sweat blood for every inch? Why your prayers take longer to be answered? Why it always seems like you have to prove yourself twice as much as anyone else? The answer is violently simple. Those who carry gold are searched. Those who transport diamonds pass through more barriers. And those who carry a mission the size of yours must go through the furnace before being served to the world. The weight of your calling demands the weight of your process, and that is exactly what has been happening to you for years. Look at Joseph in Egypt. Before the palace, the pit. Before the crown, the prison. Before feeding entire nations, he was sold by his own brothers, slandered by a woman, and forgotten by those who promised to remember him. If God had promoted Joseph ahead of time, he would have destroyed the promise from the inside. Prison was not punishment. It was the waiting room for the palace. Look at Moses, 40 years in the desert tending someone else's sheep before leading an entire nation. Do you think that was wasted time? It wasn't. It was God taking Egypt out of him so that he could take the people out of Egypt. Your delays are exactly that, chosen one, the necessary cleansing before the official call. Look at Job. He lost everything, absolutely everything, and in the end he received double, not because God was amused by his suffering, but because his internal structure needed to support the double that was coming. If you want the double blessing, you need reinforced foundations. And that is what this season of suffering has done to you. Every time you cried alone in your room, God was sculpting the compassion in you that your mission will require. Every time you were humiliated, he was removing the pride that would have brought you down later. Every time you were ignored, he was training your soul not to depend on human applause. Every time a door slammed in your face, he was closing the wrong path before you got lost in it. God's silence in your life was not absence, it was depth. God was quiet because he was working. He was quiet because the answer he prepared is so big it wouldn't fit in a normal conversation. It had to be delivered in person. And the day of delivery is coming. Now listen to this with special attention, chosen one, because this part changes everything. You went through this preparation because you were chosen before you were born. Before you understood anything about this life, your name was already signed in a book that hell read and feared. You are not random. You are scheduled. And God's agenda for you is now entering the public phase. That is exactly why I prepared the star mission for you. Chosen one, if you have made it this far feeling everything I am saying, this isn't the video's suggestion. It is your soul recognizing what it has always known. Star Mission is the 21-day challenge I built to take you from spiritual confusion to total alignment with the cosmic purpose God signed with your name. These are daily reflections, simple practices, and activation declarations that will make you remember who you are before the world taught you who you weren't. It's not a theoretical course, it is armor. It is a tool of war for the season starting in your life. In the first pinned comment of this video is the access. Go there now, secure yours, and come back writing the word activated in the comments as your personal decree that you accept the call. The universe records everything, chosen one, and this commitment will be the trigger for everything that follows. Now I need to lead you into a truth that hurts, but sets you free. There is a hidden reason why your blessing seems to delay even after all this process, and that reason isn't in God, it isn't in the enemy, it isn't in your past, it is inside you, in the form of internal agreements you made without realizing it, which remain active to this day. Every time a person rejected you when you were a child, you didn't just suffer in that moment. You closed a contract, an invisible contract where your soul signed, "I am not worthy of staying." Every time you were humiliated in front of others, you signed, "I need to hide to survive." Every time you tried something big and failed, you signed, "Greatness is not for me, it's for others." These contracts remain stored deep in your subconscious, and every decision you make today passes through them before becoming reality. That is why when a big opportunity appears, you feel like running away. It's not laziness, it's not a lack of faith. It is the old contract activating and saying, "Careful, you'll be rejected again here." That is why when someone praises you, your body tenses up. That is why when money starts to appear, you self-sabotage. That is why you meet incredible people but feel you need to pretend to be less than you are for them to accept you. Chosen one, the enemy doesn't need to do anything new against you. He just needs to remind you of these old agreements and activate them when the promotion arrives. And that is exactly what he does. In the very days leading up to the breakthrough, he brings back an old memory, a repressed pain, a scene you thought you had forgotten. It's not a random trigger. It is military strategy. He is trying to make you reaffirm that old agreement to block the new season. How many times have you come close to achieving something great, and out of nowhere something silly happened that threw you off balance? A mean comment, a disappointment with someone, a memory coming out of thin air. That was no accident. It was an attempt to renew the old contract. And every time you reacted with the same pain, the contract was renewed for another season. But today that cycle ends. Today you receive the authority to cancel. You don't need to psychologically understand every contract. You only need to recognize they exist and choose, with an absolute decree, that from now on they have no validity over your life. Chosen one, what God decrees undoes what pain engraved. And God is decreeing at this very moment that your old agreements with limitation are being dissolved, one by one, as you listen to me. Every time you took a deep breath during this video, a seal was broken. Every time a tear wanted to well up and you held it, a contract was being cancelled. You aren't just here watching, you are being untied as you watch. And that is why your spiritual enemies are working overtime today. They feel the chain being cut, and they know that when this last bond falls, you transform into something they can no longer touch. Chosen one, now open your heart to what comes next, because you will see yourself here. There is a biblical scene that describes exactly the moment you are living. Gideon, a man hiding in a winepress threshing wheat for fear of the Midianites, and it was there, in the midst of fear, hidden, feeling the smallest, feeling insufficient, that the angel of the Lord appeared to him and said a phrase that will pierce your soul now. "The Lord is with you, mighty man of valor." Pay attention to this. Gideon was hiding. Gideon was afraid. Gideon thought he was small. And the angel did not call him by what he was being in that moment. He called him by what he was before the fear. He called him by his divine name, mighty man, warrior, chosen one. God does not look at you by your current state. God looks at you by the original version he designed before any trauma touched you. And what was Gideon's response, the same as yours? How? Me? My family is the weakest. I am the least in my father's house. There must be someone better. Chosen one, this is literally your internal voice every day. You receive the call and immediately list all the reasons why you can't be you. You point to better people, more prepared, more equipped. You run from your own selection. But God does not choose by current circumstance. God chooses by the potential he himself deposited before you were born. And what makes the chosen one chosen is not that they feel ready. It is that they accept even while feeling unprepared. Readiness comes after the yes, never before. If you wait to feel ready, you will die with the calling intact inside you, and the enemy celebrates exactly that. You don't need to feel worthy. You need to give the yes. God handles the rest on the way. He himself empowers those he calls. He himself opens the doors. He himself places the right people. He himself makes the money, the resources, the ideas, and the encounters appear. Your part is only one, to accept. One syllable, one decision. A yes from the inside out that renounces the old and receives the new. And look at something almost no one notices. The greatest sign that God is calling you is not that you feel brave. It's that you feel afraid of the size of the thing. If you aren't afraid, it's because the calling is too small for your potential. Fear confirms it. Fear validates it. Fear is God's invisible signature saying, "This size belongs to you, child." And the enemy tries to turn that signature into proof that you shouldn't go. Lie. Go anyway. Chosen one. This is where the star mission comes in as your training for acceptance. In these 21 days, you will go through exactly the process Gideon did, but in a practical and daily way. No fluff, no empty theory. In the first pinned comment is the direct link. Go there now before this video ends, secure yours, because the next window of activation will not wait for those who hesitate. The chosen one decides. The confused one asks. Chosen one. There is a place in your life that you think is a curse, but is actually the incubator of your purpose. It is the secret place, the place where no one sees you, the place where no one applauds you, the place where you are now, feeling forgotten, feeling out of the game, feeling invisible. David spent years alone in the fields of Bethlehem tending sheep, while his brothers were in the army. Being seen, being considered, he was with a flock of sheep, singing psalms no one heard, killing lions and bears no one saw, developing the aim of the sling that no one followed, and it was exactly this invisible season that prepared everything. When Goliath appeared, the entire trained army was paralyzed. Only a boy, apparently unprepared, stepped out to face him. And why? Because in anonymity, he had already faced greater enemies. He didn't have public war experience, but he had years of private war. And it was the private war that defeated Goliath, not the public one. Chosen one, this changes the reading of your entire life. While you look at others growing, appearing, being recognized, and you feel forgotten in your corner, God is doing in you exactly what he did in David. He is training you to defeat giants that the trained ones won't be able to beat. He is giving you internal resistance that is only gained in solitude. He is making you develop an intimacy with him that the crowd will never have. The years you cried alone, you don't know what you built. That became armor, that became roots, that became deep understanding that will now attract people seeking exactly that depth you have. You didn't lose time in your corner. You were architected in your corner. And that is why your public manifestation, when it arrives, will be different. It will have weight. It will have presence. It will have something others will feel but won't know how to name. Because what is built in silence explodes in impact. And what is built in haste evaporates just as quickly. Pay attention to this, chosen one. God never promotes anyone before deepening them, And if you are being deepened now, it is because the promotion coming is the size of the depth he is digging in you. If the well is shallow, it holds little water. If the well is deep, it holds a river. And God is digging a river inside you so that it overflows in the season, starting in the coming weeks. But pay attention now, chosen one, because I need to warn you of something before the next topic. Before the transfer of wealth arrives, before the giant doors open, before unexpected money hits your account, the universe will give you one last test, and it is a test so subtle that most chosen ones fall for it in the last 48 hours before the breakthrough. A false trap that comes disguised as reconciliation, disguised as a second chance, disguised as an answer to prayer. Hold that information. I will show you how to disarm this test before the video ends. But before that, we need to talk about the enemy no one wants to look at. Chosen one, this is the hardest topic to speak on, because it's what almost no one has the courage to face. Your greatest enemy today is no longer the enemy out there. It is no longer the past. It is no longer the narcissist who hurt you. It is no longer the fake friend who betrayed you. Your greatest enemy today is the fear of your full self. There is a part of you that still prefers to stay small. Not because it likes it, because it knows it. Small is familiar. Small is safe. Small doesn't attract eyes, doesn't attract envy, doesn't attract responsibility. And while one part of your soul screams to expand, another part clings to the ground because it is afraid of being seen in full. Have you noticed that when you have a big idea, you feel a strange shame just imagining telling it to someone? Have you noticed that when you start to stand out, you say things that diminish yourself so as not to bother others? Have you noticed that when someone praises your gift, you minimize it, you deflect, you change the subject? That is the fear of being fully seen working from within. And the truth no one told you is this: the enemy prefers a brilliant chosen one who is hidden over a mediocre chosen one who is exposed, because the hidden chosen one doesn't bother anything or anyone in the kingdom of darkness. They stay there, suffering in silence, thinking they are a failure, without understanding they are literally holding back the expansion they themselves asked for in prayer. You ask God to open doors, but when the doors open, you want to go back to the cave. You ask to be used, but when the eyes come, you want to disappear. You ask to prosper, but when the money arrives, you feel unworthy. This is internal sabotage dressed as humility. And true humility is not thinking you are less than what God made you. True humility is recognizing that everything you are came from Him and using that publicly to glorify Him, not hiding it so as not to offend. Chosen one, you were not made to fit in. You were made to overflow. And the strange sensation you feel when good things arrive, that discomfort, that urge to refuse, that impulse to shrink, is just the old ego dying. It is the small version going bankrupt. It is the body getting used to a higher frequency. This is not a sign that you shouldn't move forward. It is a sign that the transition is happening now. Accept the greatness God deposited in you. It is not yours in the sense of possession. It is His in the sense of stewardship. You are the manager of the light He gave you, and a manager who hides talent is called a wicked servant. God didn't ask you to be small. God asked you to be faithful to the size of what He gave you. And the size of what He gave you is giant. You already know this. You've always known. Chosen one, now I need to be direct with you, no beating around the bush, because time is running out. If you have made it this far and still haven't picked up the star mission, you need to stop everything and go now to the first pinned comment of this video. It is not a suggestion. It is an ultimatum. These 21 days were structured exactly for you to cross this transition from the hidden to the seen, from the small to the whole, from the fearful to the aligned. Each day is a piece of armor being placed on you before the public war begins. If you enter unprepared, you enter exposed. And exposed without preparation is easy prey for the last test set in your path. Go there, secure yours now, and write in the comments, "I accept." After that, come back here, because in the final part, I give you the key to disarming the last test. Chosen one, now we reach the most serious part of all, the part that will define the next season of your life. That last test I warned you about, that false trap the universe sets before the turning point, it has a specific face. It usually comes in the form of a person. Someone from your past who will reappear in the next few days, seeming changed. Someone who hurt you, disappointed you, betrayed you, and now will return with a moving speech, asking for forgiveness, saying they realized everything, saying they want to start over. Chosen one, listen now with total attention. It is not a conversion. It is a strategy. The enemy knows that this person is the trigger for your old contract, and he will position this person exactly in the 48 hours preceding the greater blessing. If you reopen the door, you reactivate the old contract, and the blessing passes over your house without stopping. If you keep the door closed, with love but without return, you disarm the test, and the blessing lands exactly where it should land. How to disarm it? Simple and violently effective. You recognize the message, you internally thank them for the lesson that person taught you, you wish them well, and you follow firmly on your path without reopening space. Forgiveness is not an invitation. Forgiveness is freedom. You can forgive without reintegrating, and the mature chosen one understands this difference. That is why they pass tests and rise, and that is why the immature fall for the same test every cycle. Now I want you to make a declaration with me. Repeat mentally or out loud every phrase I'm about to say. This is not a suggestion. This is an official decree in the unseen realm. I accept my calling. I am no longer what I was. I am no longer what others said I was. I am no longer what pain engraved in me. I am what God decreed before I was born. I break every old agreement with rejection. I break every old agreement with delay. I break every old agreement with scarcity. I break every old agreement with invisibility. I disconnect now, in this moment, from every voice that told me I was not enough. I accept being fully seen. I accept being fully loved. I accept being fully prosperous. I accept being fully used. I accept the transfer of wealth God prepared for me. I accept the giant doors that are opening. I accept the divine encounters marked on my invisible agenda. And I decree at this moment, my enemies will see me win, not with revenge, with testimony. They will see the version of me they couldn't destroy. They will publicly witness what they tried to sabotage in secret, and each one will be forced to recognize, even in silence, that God was with me the whole time. Chosen one, if you declared this with me, something changed just now. You will not leave this video the same way you entered. Save today's date. Write it down. Because in the next few days, you will see signs confirm everything said here. An unexpected call, an opportunity falling from the sky, money you didn't expect, the right person looking for you. It won't be a coincidence. It will be the response of the unseen to the decree you just made. And remember, the star mission is in the first pinned comment. Without it, you enter the season without armor. With it, you enter dressed for what's coming. The choice remains yours, but the time to choose is closing. Write in the comments now the word received as a seal of what was activated here today. Share this video with someone who needs to wake up, and get ready, chosen one, because the greatest blessing of your life is literally knocking on your door. Open it. It's time.